Hi, everyone. You are nearing the end of this writing unit. You are getting ready to publish your piece. And so you're watching this mini lesson today to maybe get some ideas of how we might actually publish narrative writing. So let me just jump right in. Obviously, the first thing that comes into our mind when we think about publishing a narrative piece is a storybook, right? We see this all the time. When we tell stories, read stories, it's in a book, it has lots of pictures. So this is obviously like paper book is kind of the first thing that comes to mind, okay? So there's the type of book that, like this one, where there's lots of pictures. We call this sometimes a picture book. There's your first idea. Okay, now the next one is a different type of paper book, but it's when you just you type your story, right, and print it out. So here is, this is a book called When I Was Your Age, Original Stories About Growing Up, and it's 20 different stories from 20 different authors, and then they put them together in this chapter book. But each story is just a few pages long, but there's no pictures, right? It's just text. So you might think of writing your book, your story, and publishing just handwriting it or typing it and printing it out without adding any pictures. That's totally fine. Another way that we might publish is using digital tools, okay? So these two ways, you might just handwrite them and put them in this type of format, but we also have a wide range of digital tools. The first thing that comes to mind is Google Docs, where you can just type your whole story and send it out like that, right? You don't have to add any pictures. Another tool that you could use is Google Slides. That would be more if you are making a book where you want to have text and pictures together. Google Slides is a really good option because you can kind of add in pictures and change the background and make it more like a digital picture book. Another tool that I know many of you are familiar with is Book Creator. That's an app that can be used on iPads or on your Chromebook. So that's similar to Google Slides, where you will publish like an ebook, like an e-picture book, okay? And then there is one more thing I want to show you, but I'm going to share my screen to do that. Okay, so here we see a website that has stories, right? And let me show you how these stories are published. So on this website, there's just a bunch of different stories here. This is grade 5. Let's look at maybe a younger one. Okay, here's a grade 3. So if we click on this story, you can see there's the title and there's an image that goes with it, but there's not a ton of pictures. It's more just text, and then they put in 1 or 2 pictures to match the story, right? So it's kind of a mix between a picture book and just the writing. It has lots and lots of text, and it's all on kind of one streaming page and just a few images to go with the story. So this is kind of like a mix between the two. So I've just given you a few suggestions of ways you might publish your narrative story, but really the possibilities are endless. You might think back to who are you creating this for and what kind of thing might they enjoy, right? So if you made your narrative story for younger kids, they would probably enjoy something more like a picture book, right? So something on paper, or using Book Creator or Google Slides, something with lots of images. If your story is more for 3rd graders or older, you might think about just typing it or writing it and just only having the text without adding pictures. Or you could have kind of a mix between the two, having lots of text and just a few images that match with your text. But really, like, the way you want to publish is totally up to you. I'm happy to talk more about this. If you have some ideas or questions, just let me know, and we can kind of talk through the tools you might need to use and ways that you could publish. All right, have so much fun. This is a pretty important step of the process, right? So yeah, happy writing. I'll talk to you soon.